5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are live on Facebook and on YouTube.
Okay, thank you very much for the technical team. We have now transitioned to the both YouTube as well as Facebook. So those of you who can see us or be waiting on YouTube, we are now live on YouTube as well as we are live on we are live on Facebook.
Yeah, we saw the questions very much slow. So the problem, audience can keep on sending you questions.
Please send in your questions. They are restoring the questions onto the transition. The transition the questions as well. So please send in your questions, and once they put it once they put the listings on my screen, I'll be able to read it directly for you and answer the questions. So please keep sending in the question. Thank you very much, and I want to use this opportunity to wish all of you a happy Easter. Thank you very much. People say it's Easter. Some people say it's Easter. Whichever it is, I don't know, but I am wishing you happy Easter. The questions are the way you are sending it is more of the okay, now it looks better. This is Facebook or
This is free.
and where are you going? You are going up, and you will not be able to.
Which the question?
Calm down one more. Let me see. There's something about Mensa. Marvelous Mensa. That's is that the last one? No. Go down. Go down. That's why this what do you call it? Sure you don't escape any question. Whatever question it is, don't just roll up. If you know that I have not read it, don't just roll up. Go back down. Let me see. I can see also. Somebody asked here, we have not read this question. Marvelous Mensa was it? I asked because I want to know the importance of Afa. Oh, please, Afa is important in everybody's life. If you want to get initiated into Fa, consult a Fa priest. Let them do a reading for you, and then they will explain to you what Afa is all about. Afa is another way of knowing your destiny. In Afa, you will be told what you have come into this world to do, the work you are supposed to do, the kind of people that you are supposed to associate with, even the man and the woman that you should marry, the kind of food you should eat, what you should avoid. All is told to you when you are initiated. It is your calling or your destiny in another form that will be exposed to you, and then you know how to live your life. So that was from Marvelous Mensa. So I hope I made it clear. A question or likes, yeah. And then Pascal Fighter GH. Greetings to you, Papa. Pascal, thank you very much, and greetings to you too. Then we have Messi Nenua Owa. Messi is made of bullhorn and cowries. I don't know. I don't have bullhorn and cowries in my shrine. I'm sorry. I don't have any spirit made of bullhorn or cowrie in my shrine. I'm sorry. I don't know everything about everybody's shrine. What I do here is what I know about, and that's what I teach. Yes, let's go out. Yao Ajaku. Hello, Bokor Chris. I'm about to start Zen monastic training following recent experiences. Fairly familiar experiences. Fairly familiar various Western and Eastern traditions. I'm also at the same time keen to reconnect with my roots as an African. I would like to devote this time rather to understand ways of my people in the US now. Okay. Yeah, Ajaku. You see, Zen monastic training are totally two philosophy, and I have trained, and I was once a monk. I was an acharya, or what people call what do you call it in sannyasi. I was once a sannyasi in India and also in Thailand, as my posting was. Zen monastic training, I don't know exactly what it means, what it is, but I have some idea about Asian or Oriental traditions and spirituality. Afa and our Vodu is totally different from that. Voodoo is practical to nature. It has not much of meditation. We don't do too much of meditation because we want things. We want things. We do things on a practical level. So you don't need to sit down, close your eyes, and start imagining things. In Voodoo, you put one or two together, and it materializes. That's what Voodoo is, which is not in Zen and it is not in other things. I have been part of some of the Asian distance, but I find my own roots, African roots, Voodoo roots, and Afa roots more reliable and more straightforward than those things. That's why I came back after all this thing and I'm doing this thing. So you can learn, and then of course it is good to learn. So you can go into it and learn and see if you get any practical use of it. It is good. That's all that I can say. I have tried all those things and I have seen so much of more of just mental or what I call imagination than reality. So I believe in reality. I believe in seeing real things happening on the physical plane because I live here. I don't want to die before enjoying heaven. I want to enjoy it here. Thank you. Yes, let's go. Let's go. Let's go up. Then we have Nunya Adidoe Asimetulo Nyatepe Ndi Nani Amechichia. Please, what is the difference between what you do and a chief who sits on a black stool? Basically, what does the chief do? The chief don't do anything. They only when there's a festival, they dress up and they take them outside and they come back home. What do you see a chief doing? A chief who is sitting on a black stool or green stool or yellow stool doing? They don't do anything that just going out. When they go out, if there's a problem in the community, they bring them and they solve it. How many chiefs do you see doing real traditional thing? Yes, let me say, go on. Thank you, great divine. Does the Togbezipi protect just like the Afar deities? I know Togbezipi is like a deity that protects, but it cannot do Afakaka. Nunya, you see, the point is that Togbezipi is a spirit. What is Togbezipi? Togbezipi is a stool which represent all the ancestors on one bloodline. The ancestors who or people who have passed into ancestral world on one bloodline. So when we want to contact or consult with our ancestors, we go to the Togbezipi and pray. Afa, on the other hand, is a pathfinder. Afa is a diviner or an instrument of divination. That's what Afa is. So when Togbezipi wants to talk, we will use Afa to ask Togbezipi what it wants to say. Togbezipi on its own cannot tell you anything unless the person who is in charge knows how to communicate with the spirit world. But that doesn't mean that you cannot pray to Togbezipi. In the tissue paper and fetch me water. The truth about Tomoezipe is that Tomoezipe on its own cannot communicate with anyone who does not have divination knowledge or wisdom. Yeah, people have the sixth sense, seventh sense, eighth sense, and all other senses, and they can also communicate through the Tomoezipe. But the Tomoezipe on its own cannot just start to do divination for you. Even Afa, if you don't know how to use it, it can be there. You not, it cannot do any divination. So Afa Kaka is also not just something that once you got Afa, you can know Afa Kaka. No, you need to be trained. So it is also when they put someone in charge of toxicity, that person must be selected, not a thief, not a liar, not someone who is deceiving people and taking advantage of other people. A person who should be in charge of toxicity should be someone who has got a spiritual sense already, not just anyone. The mistake a lot of people make in our every land is that they just put anyone there just because one or two people feel that that person, when he is there or she is there, they will manipulate the person. So they put the person there and be able to manipulate. But with that, the Togolese people will not be able to act very well, even though it possesses power enough to act. But since the person who is there does not know how to communicate with you, there is nothing you can gain so much from it. But when you pray to it, yes, it will work for you the way you pray, but you cannot get really easy access to things that you want, which the CP wanted to tell you, but because no one can see it and tell, so that is why it will not be able to tell you. But otherwise, basically is a combination or the central meeting point of all the ancestors on your bloodline. Thank you. And then my marvelous message does affirm matters in one's life. It depends. If in your destiny you are supposed to get afar, you have to do it. You don't just sit down whether to know whether afar matters or not. Do a reading. If afar matters in your life, the reading will tell you. If it doesn't matter in your life, too, they will tell you. Let's go up. Yes, we have a formatting cobbler again here. Say good afternoon, my brother. Your niece Mama is here asking what is that you have on the table in front of you. For cobbler, formatting. Tell her that the one here, the one I am touching, is called a magic mirror. Is the one that I use sometimes to do divination, to look into the future. Okay, I was answering a formatting cobbler's question, and then all of a sudden there is a blackout. The lights all went out. Ghana is experiencing a blackout these days. Once in a while, like last night, we had it taken off until about 2 a.m. Around 2 a.m. before it came, and in the daytime too, they have taken it off many times. So we don't know exactly what's going on. But I was answering a formatting cobbler's question when the light went off, so the children ran quickly to put on the generator to restore power. So please, we are sorry for that, but then it is beyond our making. We were not anticipating that blackout will be coming on this time, but I think we are having challenges in the country. The government is doing its best to put things in place, so everybody should just bear it with them, and let's do our best to adjust ourselves to it when it comes this way. Uh, So now I was explaining to a formatting cobbler that to my niece, Mama, that this one is the magic mirror which I use when I'm doing divination to look into the future, to look into the past, and sometimes the present as well. It has been given to me by my spiritual father, Ewe Tuji, who had been part of my life for long. He passed away about 13 years ago, and I am still using it. I've had this one for almost 18, 19 years now, if not 20 years. Almost. About 18 years, let me say so. So that's it. And this is one of the spirits that I work with called Togbe Akai. Okay, by the way, the name of the mirror is Abochi. We call it Abochi or Kofi to Jabaku. It has many names, but those are the two common names, Kofi or Abochi. So this is Akai who I have been with for many, many years. I travel around the oceans, around the world with it. And it's also my spiritual guide and one of the first spirits that had really made my interest in Voodoo come up because it's very practical and present. That you don't have to do meditation for hours before you can connect with him. Thank you very much. I hope I have made some sense in answering that question. Now we have a J. Sam Gasga Vidal. Good evening from the Philippines. Yeah, good evening, Vidal. How are you? Komustaka. Thank you very much. And then we go on. Thank you very much for joining us, J. Sam Gasga. And then we have, let me say, then we have Divina again, Divina Amusu again. They took sun place from there. And when you say they took sun from there, who took the sun from there? And you can use it. What do you mean by yes, you can use it. I don't understand your question. They took who are the they, and who how did it get into your hands if you are not involved in the people who took the sun? So let your questions be clear. If they say they took some from my father's grave or from my grandfather's grave and gave it to me, can I use it as you cannot use it for protection? No, take it to protect you. It's not true. It's not true. Protection is something different. I think that you want to pray and connect, but I don't think by that grave son is a protection for you. It can never be a protection. But protections are made not by taking things from graves that protections happen. Protections are made like talisman or bangles or rings and all these things. They have to be made and be empowered and given to you in your name. But a grave son cannot be a protection. I'm sorry to say that, but that's the truth. Then we have Kwesi Louise Dream Chaser. So watching from now I can read watching from Saudi Arabia. Oh, thank you, assalamu alaikum. How are you, Kwesi? Hope you are doing well. Thank you very much. And then we have RC Moral. I want to be a spiritualist to help one another. Yes, I had already spoken. You can be a spiritualist, but spiritualism is not like a pastor, whereby you just say, I want to be a pastor and you become a pastor. You must have a deeper feeling and a desire to do. And spirituality needs a real training. It is not like just going to school and coming out with something in your neck and then you are a spiritualist. You need to know the sacrifices that you have to sacrifice. When I say sacrifice, I'm not talking about killing of animal or anything, but you yourself trying to undergo a lot of penance, a lot of difficulty just to be able to get to what spirituality is. A discipline act. It is not a loose act like in religious where you just pretend to be. No, if you are not real, you are not real. And then we have RC Mora. I asked a question. RC Mora, I want to ask something. Yes, go ahead. You say you asked a question. We didn't see your question. If we saw your question, we would have answered it. So, and then if you want to ask, ask. We are here. Eden, common greetings to you, Papa, and my brother. So, Eden, thank you. As I said earlier, we haven't seen you in a while. But could like question. Nobody, I'm on could like what you talk. That can like, Cody. Look how. But life has been what? That's the old questions. But why are they still here? I'm seeing. Because if you think that it will disturb the broadcasting, then move forward. I removed my tap from my head so I can put the difference between the time the light was on and the time that the light wasn't on so that people can find it easy. Yeah, marvelous Mesa. I want to know how Afa matters in one's life. Oh, do a divination. People who have desire for Afa are naturally they saw what Afa does through how people are doing divination and then they see it. And that interests them, they want to be Afa. But you cannot be far away, you don't know anything about Afa, you have not even had a contact with Afa, and you want to know how it matters in one's life. Until you start doing divination, that's when you will understand what Afa is. You don't just sit in your room and say, I want to know how Afa matters in people's life. It doesn't matter in people's life, and yes, still it matters in people's life. So try to find out what you want through going to a priest and let the priest do a divination for you. Then you will see what Afa is. If they use Afa, then you know. If they use mirror, you know. If they use water, you know. If they use a crystal ball, then you know. That is where your interest should be. It is not a question of just to ask how is Afa matters in one's life. It matters in the lives of people who know and they, who wanted to be into Afa. Yes. And then Nunya Adido again said, please can the oracle determine whether or not a man I'm dating is my destined husband? If you want to find out, you will find out. That's why the oracle is there for you to tell you what is behind the scene. And then we have the message, Nenua Owa. What is made of bullhorn and cowries? I don't know. I don't have bull's horn and cowries in my shrine, as I said earlier. So I cannot tell. I'm not the owner of everybody's shrine. J Sam, that's guy again. Can I ask about my health in general? Yes, you can. If you do reading, you can ask about your health. I'm not doing reading here. That's not why I'm here. But if you want to do reading, they can do reading for you. But as of now, I'm only answering people's question. I'm not doing reading. How do I get initiated into FA? You get Vespa A1's STM. How do I get initiated into FA? You can get initiated into FA by going to the people who do FA and ask questions and also do a reading. If you are interested in FA and it interests you, then you can ask them how to get initiated into FA. They will tell you the things you need, how much it will cost you. They will tell you. Yes, go ahead. Then we have Angie Tato Chuma Mogochi. How does one prepare for birth in Vodu? I don't know. I don't know what you mean by how does one prepare for birth in Vodu. Angie Tato Chuma Mogochi. understand the question very well. I don't know how people prepare for birth in Vodu. I've not. I don't know. I don't know. Just simply as that, I don't know. Yeah. They know that I feel it's Vodu thing. Check where you can cut it off. I will like that. I don't. You cannot go. Okay. Move the questions this way, and let me also be seeing myself in the discussion. Then look at what Said what are they doing? Look at your job.
Connection is slow.
Yaman, you know, question Yaman.
I,
Look at each time when I want to change her.
I didn't change the call you when I'm running.
Tanama no ko man sewa.
You may not know fix me very logo that full and I try to look on.
So Angie Tato Chuma Mogochi say how does one prepare for birth in Voodoo? I'm sorry, I don't understand the question and I don't know how to answer it. And then come up. Then Marvelous Mensa, yes, you made it clear to me, Papa, because I watched your Destiny video and I have lived in an every community with Voodoos like Alafia, Egui, Blekete, Kopu, Jack, Ologui, and so on. Thank you, Tommy. You are very much welcome. Thank you very much. And then Marvelous Mensa said, I'm an Ewe myself. Okay, thank you very much, Marvelous. And then Jose Ajagun Aponte, Alafia Kings. Alafia Kings. I had a question. Why is it that some Voodoo temples in Africa house images of Hindu deities? I don't know. No, the places where you see the images of Hindu deities, people speak about Mamiwata. See, our people don't understand what Mamiwata is. And there's a lot of scamming and lies in Mamiwata, people who call themselves Mamiwata priests and Mamiwata priestesses. Because they themselves don't know what really Mamiwata is. They tend to pick Hindu deities like Shiva, what do you call it, Krishna, Jasmine, Lakshmi, what do you call it, all kind of Hindu gods and goddesses, Durga, all kind of Hindu goddesses in their shrines or pictures of this. They let them draw it and then they say, that is the Mamiwata that is with me. It's really very pathetic sometimes. I feel sorry for such people because Voodoo deities are not Hindu deities. And what people call Mamiwata, I don't know very much. Maybe because I have not been into the practicing of Mamiwata things, I cannot tell. But most of the people I see talking about Mamiwata, they just place Hindu deities in their shrines. And when I came back from outside first, just because I had been a Hindu monk or a Hindu priest at one time in my life, I know that these are Hindu deities. So when I started writing and complaining that why should our Mamiwata Vodus not be having Ewe names and they always have to have English names. Some are called Esther, some are called Mary, some are called all kind of names. Why should they be every spirituality? And a lot of people came after me, and they felt like I'm trying to spoil their business. So I stopped complaining and commenting on it. My shrine, yes, I have a Shiva deity. When I came back from Japan, when I wanted to start my shrine, at first I didn't want to put my own picture. So because I've been a Hindu priest and I was a tantric yogi, I and Shiva was a tantric yogi or father of tantra. So I decided to put Lord Shiva's image. Not because Lord Shiva was in my shrine or there is any deity in my shrine called Lord Shiva, but then I put it because I was coming from a Hindu background as well as a Voodoo background. So that's why I put it. So just like how I have Buddha images in part of my uh, place, not in my shrine, but I carry Buddha images in my chain that I wear. I don't know, maybe, yeah, this like this what I wear here. This is a Buddha, yeah, Thai Buddha for that matter. Yeah, if we look, is it showing? Can you see there?
Yes.
Is it showing well?
Yes.
So this is a Buddha image. One thing why I carry this is it was a gift from my friend who is a seer, a psychic seer, my very good friend, Madam Yuari Win Tumpan in Thailand, who had been a very good friend and who had also encouraged me a lot to become a seer, even though I could see when I was already a Hindu priest. But her work as an individual without working for any organization had also encouraged me to set up my own shrine. So this image she has given it to me about 27 years ago, and I had been wearing it all the time before even coming back to Ghana 22 years ago. So is it 27, almost 28 to 30 years ago, she gave me this chain and Buddha locket. And because she is a Buddhist and as a Thai Buddhist, and she depend on the deities in Buddhism to do her work. So we had been good friends for many years, and she gave me as a gift from her. So I wear it, one, to remember her, and also to remember there was Lord Buddha or Gautama Buddha Sakyamuni. So that's it. So I wear, but then I was a Hindu priest at one time. So first I put a, what do you call it, a Shiva the picture on my logo, not my logo, but my shrine when I started as a signboard to tell people that there is a priest here. And afterwards, as I started establishing my shrine very well, my children created, Sena and Penny, especially Penny created the logo that we'll use for our work. And Sena and the other ones are doing all the videos and everything. And then we now put that Shiva image behind us. But a lot of African shrines still maintain the same. They say it is Mamiwata, but I didn't know what Mamiwata is. But I don't think Hindu deities are called Mamiwata in India. They are only called Mamiwata in Africa, and it is laughable. But who am I to tell the people who are dealing with these deities if they are really dealing with this deity that they are wrong? No. So Jose Ajagun Aponte. That's my answer to your question. And then we have Ebenezer. So happy Easter, Papa and team. Greetings from Kentucky. Thank you very much, Ebenezer. And how are you? Thank you very much for your continued support of our work. And I'm very grateful and happy Easter to you and your dear ones. Ebenezer Bozogana and Doomson off and on of electricity. Yes, it's part of our life. We live with it. We are beginning to learn how to live with it forever. I don't believe any one person can solve it all, but we prepare. We get ourselves ready when it is necessary. Mm. Yeah, so we have a Togbe Jifa, a clue. Hey, Papa, greetings from my entire family to you and the good work you are doing. USA, Kansas. Thank you very much, Togbe Jifa, a clue. We are very grateful to you and happy Easter to you in Kansas. And then we have a Candy Fisher. Greetings, Papa. Happy Easter. Today is the day Jesus has been. Yeah, greetings, Papa. Happy Easter. Today is the day Jesus has risen from the dead in 3 days. They say so. I don't know. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. That's a funny thing that I kept wondering about. But whether he has risen or he hasn't risen, I don't know. Then and then we have, can anyone at all be initiated into fire? I told you that go and do a reading. When you do a reading, and if you can be initiated or you cannot be initiated, they will tell you. Let's go up. Then Sikidu Legion. Greetings to you and the entire AMT. Thank you very much, Sikidu. How are you? And then Toby, can you please give a little education on Yebe? Please, is there any dedicated table for the worship of Yebe? A section of people believe Yahweh is poor translation of Yebe. Do you have any information on that? Thank you. Yebe is the original Ewe shrine where the Eves, or if you want to call it a spiritual circle, or even to the point of calling it a cult, Yebe is where the word Ewe comes from. And then we have Efegba, which we eat inside. And then we have Yevegba, which is very small, especially for spirit. Yeve is synonymous with Voodoo, because the Voodoo Tohono or Tanda, or how people call it Hebia, so and all these things are Yeve. They are coming from the Yeve. Listen. That's why if you look at a lot of Yeve names, you have so Fahum, Adafli so Dawe, so Dembe, so Deve. All these things are all a so. And what is so in English word? That means standard. A lot of people have confused the word so with the word so with what we call Hebiaso. They think that the name of Tanda is Hebiaso. No, the name of Tanda is so. But the one that people were very much familiar with was the Hebie. Hebie is a town in Togo. So Hebieso became the most popular, and everybody started to equate or to translate Tanda into the name Hebieso. But then So is the name of Tanda. And then Yahweh, whether Yahweh is a poor translation of Yahweh, I don't know, and I don't think so. But I also did some study that shows that the Aves came from the Pacific, and on their journey back towards this place today, they passed through many places. And of course, you also have to understand that the Aves were also in Egypt, in Kemet. What we call Kemet. In Ave, what the word Kemet means sun, where sun is, a Kemet, which probably was poorly translated into what today called Kemet, but we will say a Kemet. So if in a Kemet, what do you call it, the Jews came to a Kemet at the time that the Aves too were there, there's a possibility that there was some interaction between the Aves and the Hebrew at that time. So if you look back into what Kabbalah is, you can see that there's a lot of things in Kabbalah is very similar to Voodoo Kabbalah when we come into Kabbalah, how to binding and all these things. That's why in the Jewish thing, you write certain things and put them together, either bind them or make them to talisman and all kind of things. So whether the word Yahweh is a poor translation of the word Yahweh, I cannot tell. But then, of course, if you want to translate the word Yahweh into Ewe, what does it mean? Eya is what? Wind or air. And then we means to make or to do or to create. So a Yahweh, which means it is, if we want to translate that word into Ewe, it has nothing to do with the word Ewe, but Yahweh, which means it is made by the wind or made by air or by spirit. So the word has another meaning in Ewe. It may be the meaning in Ewe will be different from the word meaning in Hebrew, but we as Ewe, the word Yahweh also has a different meaning. And the word Ewe, what is Ewe? Ewe means a pit or a big hole or a hole. And then Ye, which I believe should be spirit. There is like saying that the Ye has the pit or the circle of Ye, which is Yewe, or the group of Ye. And then that's why, but I have not yet been initiated into Yewe. I had been saying it all the time that maybe that would be the last initiation that I might take. But I have got a lot of Yewe people that I work with, and but I have not yet ventured into getting initiated into Yewe. Why? Because I don't want people to put marks on my body to prove that I have belong to this particular discipline. And that's why I don't do, because they have to draw the adodo on your body and all kind of things. I am not interested in that. That is not the only way that I can see or worship God or have interaction with spirit world. So I am not interested in that. And if I want to go into it, maybe that's what I would do. They will ask to cut this. Let's go up. So Sikiru, that's my explanation of the Yewe thing. But then there may be more to it which I don't know yet. Then we have Oluchi Osonwonke. Great day, Papa. Happy to have you here with us, and love and my regards to the family. Same to you, my sister. My regards to all of your family too, and happy Easter to you. Candy Fisher is saying, Papa, can you make a portable leg bar? Yes, of course. We just made one for now. We just made a very portable leg bar for Shamba when he came. So yes, it can be made. And then Jose Ajagun Aponte, thanks for the answer. I agree. No African should believe in Jesus. Whether they believe it, all Africans, majority 95% of Africans believe in either Allah or in Jesus. But that's I mean, it's a religion. People who want to be religious can be religious. We were all brought up from religion one time in our lives, but when we grew up, we begin to ask questions, and that's why we find ourselves on this platform. So we cannot say no African should be, because if you do that, then you are now forcing people to become religious. Let people discover themselves when the time comes. After all, we all have our different times. We are not all born on the same day, and we all don't have the same destiny. So please let people be, and let us also be. Don't let us force our belief or our interest, our knowledge and wisdom on other people just because they are not us. So let them be. If it is their time to learn, to come closer to spirituality, surely they will leave the religious aspect and begin to follow spirituality. So, Jose, let us be and let them be too. Okay, here we have a coach. Can you, Candy Fisher, I said, can you explain an ancestral pot and how do one start making the pot? Candy, I'm not very sure I understand that question. Can you explain an ancestral pot and how do one start making the pot? I don't know anything about an ancestral pot. I don't have the knowledge, and so I will not know how one can start making one. You know, the Ewe Vodu or the Ewe spirituality also varies from different area to different area, but all is called Vodu because Vodu means spirit. So people have different things. We at our area where I come from, the area land where I come from, where we call Redome, means the central Aves, or we are the center of Aves, is Ewe Vodu. We don't have anything called ancestral pot, which I am aware of. We have herbal pots, different herbal pots for different spirits. Like Togbe Aplapo has its pot and has its bag. Okay, this is the bag of Aplapo. And then we have its pot also inside the inner shrine. We have different vodus. I have vodu like Glimdo. It's also a pot and it has water and it's a spirit of water. So it lives inside water. But I don't call it Mami water. But whenever I call upon it and it works for me. But it's a more of a aquatic, or the spirit has its base inside water. So when you say ancestral pot, I will not understand exactly what it means, but maybe there is in some other Ewe tribes that may have that pot as an ancestral pot. We only have ancestral, and then we have Ian Campbell. Yes, hey Papa, do you think the Trocosi system of enslaving girls whose family have seen is right? It's not. See, when you say enslaving girls, that is not it. That's why I don't speak about Tronkoshi, because people don't know what Tronkoshi is. So people came because when NGOs started coming into Aveland, they wanted to find something that they can use to collect money from other people who are in their countries or in Europe or in America. And they found that the voodoo, because most of the people who were talking about, who were forming NGOs, were not coming from a traditional base. They are coming from Christian base. So since they are coming from Christian base, anything in voodoo is evil. And everything in voodoo is bad. So when they came across a Tronkoshi, it's not Tronkoshi, it's called Tronkoshi. It's not Tronkoshi. Or even if it is a wood and all this thing. But the system has made it so much that so long as they are black people, they must be kept in jail. Are you telling the world that every traditional system by demonizing every can see that this system of Ewe Vodu challenges their sanity in the sense that they are supposed to believe. We don't believe. We practicalize things and we see and we talk about. We don't just believe things. Voodoo does not. It's not a belief or faith system. It's a system that you practice it and then you realize it. So a Tronkoshi does not necessarily mean that the person is a slave to the throne. It could be a servant to at the shrine. It's not a slave. Yes, there are people who are also sent into a throne house. How does a one become a Tronkoshi? Supposing I, as Christopher Voncujovi, I did something very bad somewhere. I did it in a hidden way and people didn't see me. I want everybody to pay attention to this word Tronkoshi and how it came about. I, Christopher Voncujovi, for instance, I go to farm and then I met someone in my farm. Maybe the person is stealing my things. Instead of me arresting the person, I decide to shoot the person down. And I shot the person and then I buried the person. Covered it. I was the only one who did that. Nobody knows. So people start going out looking for their relative. They start going out looking for their relative and they are not finding it. Then they go to a throne, let's say a throne like Toby Ajima or Toby Ajimu, or they go to a throne like Toby Damalie and reported that they have their loss. Somebody lost in their family and they have been looking for the person, but they cannot find that person. I want everybody to listen very carefully before this question comes up next time again. So they told the Etron to look for their person for them. Now, the throne house or the deity's house. A throne, yes, let me use the word throne so that people can know the difference. You can understand what throne koshi is, a trokosi, that kind of name that people put out there. So they tell the throne to look for the person who got missing. Fine. So a throne started looking for the person who got missing, and a throne found that, oh, I, Christopher Voncujovi, was the one who actually killed the person. But since I'm not going to come out openly and tell everyone that I was the one who killed the person, a throne will start killing people in my family. So I and my folks, my family people, will go and find out why people are dying in my family. Most of the time, a throne is not going to kill me first because I'm the culprit. I'm the one who did something wrong. And instead of me coming out to say it that I am the one, I kept quiet because nobody saw me. So what a throne will do will start to eliminate people in the family until one day people will go and find out what is causing this continuous death in our regular death in our family. Even people young are dying, old are dying, everybody is dying. Then the diviner, if it's a good diviner, will say, hey, there's a problem with your family. One of your people in your family killed somebody, and they have taken this money person or this matter, this particular matter to a particular throne like Ajemu or Ajima or Tobe Damalie. These thrones like Tobe Ajemu, Tobe Damalie, Tobe Ajima, and other thrones other big thrones are also called a tronco V. Means those throne, they only take another human being to come into the shrine to restore sanity and to keep peace in the other family that people are dying. That's why we call it a tronco V. So now the families have come to realize that, oh, one of our family members have committed a crime. A Hulonu, Eves call it a Hulonu. To kill a person in Ewe land is the biggest taboo. Whether you use juju or you use your physical might to kill a person, in our tradition of Ewe tradition, is the greatest taboo that you ever commit. That is why when people start to say that in Voodoo they are doing blood sacrifice, whose blood? Today is Jesus Christ wake up. And on Friday, aren't Christians celebrating blood sacrifice? Were they not celebrating blood every day? Say the blood of Jesus, the blood of did they say the water of Jesus or did they say the sweat of Jesus? Are they not talking about blood? So what is wrong if Voodoo also uses animal blood to do this work? All is blood. So when this thing continue in the family, I continue the story that people are dying, and now people have realized through divination that some member of the family has committed a crime. Then now they now want that person to come forward and say what had happened. If the person happened to be alive, he'll be brought to the shrine where that Etro who has found out that there was or where the people had taken the message. So when they go there, they are going to tell them to pay certain amount of money or certain things so that they can lift the curse from the family. I have one throne in my house or two of a throne in my house who also are a throne coffee. If people come and summon you to those throne and they start killing people, When you come and we give you a bill to pay before we lift the curse off you, if you don't have that money to pay, then you will send somebody from your family to come and be serving in the shrine until you are able to pay. And when you pay, you come and take your person away. It's just like a guarantee. I think they have it in business. Collateral. Yes, that's the word. It's a collateral. You go to bank to take a loan. And when you take a loan, they will come and look at your house or look at the property that you have. And if you're not able to pay the loan, they'll take that property and replace it for the loan you have taken. So the etron, what it does is that when people are billed because of what they have done and they were hiding it, and finally the etron went and caught them, they are supposed to pay certain things. And most families do not have money, maybe in Ewe or wherever. What they do instead is that, okay, since we don't have the money now, we will send our daughter to go and be serving at the shrine until we are able to pay. Then we'll come and take our child. My spiritual teacher, Togbe Tuji, was one such mother. His mother was one such person. There was a death in the village and people were dying, and eventually they realized that Togbe Ajemu, one of these big spirits in Evela, was the one killing the people, and they went there, and then his mother had to be sent as a sacrifice, not to be killed, but to go and work at the shrine for until they are able to pay. So Togbe Tuji had told me that he remembered that when the mother grew, when he was born, he and the mother used to go and fetch firewood and all this, and they paying, even they themselves were paying. And then finally, the family came at one time and paid. So they brought her mother back home, but the mother didn't want to be among the family anymore because she was used to the place where she was brought up from childhood, and all the things that people do there was more appealing to her than what her own people were doing. So she went back to live at the shrine. So when you come to the word trokoshi, which is adulterated and demonized trokosi, this is what the system is. It's not slavery, enslavement. It is a kind of collateral, if I may say. But the bad thing in it is that the innocent child was not the one who committed the crime. But then she had to go and be paying or be serving in the shrine. That is the part that is not a good thing. But the family that has sent that person knows why they sent that child. So it is not for you, an outsider who doesn't not know anything about every culture, about every system of justice. Even at one time, if you commit crime in the country, they will send you to Toko Atolia. It's in every history. It's in every story. When they'll bury you alive, only your head will be outside for the ravens and crows and other things to come and kill you. That's our justice system that was there at one time. But today, most of these trochovi are no more really functioning like how they used to function, because a lot of people will send their children to school. And secondly, when you commit a crime today, policemen will come into it and look for the culprit, and through investigations they'll find. But in the olden days, when the people were not like today, when they need to catch who is hidden, they use voodoo. And when the voodoo catches you, you have to pay. You have to pay for the voodoo's work. And if you don't have money, you have to use someone to put down as a collateral and look for money and come and pay and take your person out. Repeat it. Hmm?
Pator. Pazerkara.
Hmm?
Zerkara.
Yeah. Okay, so Ian Campbell. So that is my explanation of what Tron Koshi system was and what people talk about today. Then public relations, Papa. This is Doji from Las Vegas. Oh, hello, Doji. How are you? Thank you very much for joining us. And then again, Doji is saying, can you tell us more about the Ajay or Azeh and how to protect ourselves against it? Can you tell us why evil people practicing Azeh are so merciless in destroying other people's lives in Africa? Ajay is not only from Africa, Doji. It is not Ajay, it's not only limited to Africa. Ajay as witchcraft, as the English people call it. We call it Ajay in Ewe. And I think Togo, because of the dialect, some people call it Ase. And I believe that the Yorubas also call it Ajay. And some people call it Iyami. Whatever you call it. What, what is Ajay and who is Ajay? Ajay is not only belong to Africa. Ajay is everywhere in the world where negative people, people who are envious of you, people who are jealous of you, people who wish you evil. Anywhere that people wish you evil, and whoever wishes you evil, and maybe they did not say it with their mouth, but they are always thinking for evil for you, those people are called witches or ajay in our tradition. People who are jealous of you, people who are jealous of you, people who are envious of you, people who wish you your downfall, they are the people we call in our language Ajay. So Ajay is not only in Africa, and Ajay is not only for Africa people. In America, in Europe, in Japan, in China, people wish evil to their fellow human beings. Such people are considered evil people or Ajay or witches. So Ajay as a person is even the people who are near you in the office, in the same office, in the same apartment, in the same society. Once they are against you, maybe not openly, but secretly they are against you, and they wish that you should fall down. Everything that you are doing, their desire is that you should fail. Such a person is called a witch in our culture. Witches are not people who are flying out in the night and with the fire on their back and all this. It is not true. That is not what witchcraft is. Yes, once in a while we have those super flaming balls, which is matured with jumping from one place to another. I have even posted that sometime back 2 years ago or a year ago. I have also seen those physically with my own eyes. My mother also told me about those when I was growing up. But Ajay, in simple thing, is someone who does not wish you good and always thinking about your downfall. So don't be dreaming and thinking that Ajay is someone who is some old lady hiding somewhere. No, they could be sitting together and eating with you and drinking with you. But once the person have evil mind towards you, that person is an Ajay in our language, in our culture. We call it that logo. So Yes, go ahead. Yeah, say it back. Yeah, so Doji Goli, sorry, I had to. Someone came and I have to break that session, but please, sorry to all of you. So Doji, it is not only in Africa that they have witches. Witches are everywhere. Witches are bad people, but witchcraft can also be used in a good way if you know how to use it for good. When you think, if your mind is powerful and you use that mental power to help people to move forward and develop, then you are using your agent to support people and to make people to go forward. And you can use that agent for yourself to grow. Some people, their mothers said they were witches, but they were not witches that were killing people, but they were witches protecting their own children so that their children can develop and become better people in society for themselves and for society. So that is what it is. So another question from Doji, which is public relations. Also, tell us if there is anything positive about Ajay or okay. That's what I'm saying. There is a positivity about Ajay. People use Ajay to see and see the future and know the future and make good use of it to help you to guide you. So Ajay has this a positive side too. You see, the word itself, which we in Epidome will even be more able to translate. Aje, don't you believe you are an Ewe? When they say Aje, what does it mean? Mean you will show, you will shine. You will be able to show it yourself or you'll be able to shine for others to see. Aje, JJ. So when it becomes negative, that's why Aje. If it is impossible, Aje. So that is what it is. So if there is positive sign, but majority of people, maybe due to poverty or greediness, people tend to use that and tend to envy people more than to love people. The people tend to be jealous of others than to show them the way to make life. So the negativity is more in poor communities than in affluent society. So it is poor people who wish that they were like you and they wish that you are enjoying and they are not enjoying, so something should happen to you. I'm sorry to say so, we are all poor people, but mostly it is more dominant in the areas where people are deprived of their general happiness, I may say so, due to governments or community rules and regulation, or people who are in charge, leaders, bad leaders. So people become poor and then they tend to become jealous and envious of other people. So this is what makes people tend to become. If your life is going on well, I don't think you'll be envying other people or jealous. Even if you envy other people and you are jealous, you will not wish them negativity, but you rather pray that you become like them one day. Thank you, Dojigo. I'm very grateful for your questions. We are going back to Facebook. We still have questions in. Oh yeah, okay. We still have questions in. Go up in YouTube. So we after Doji Goli, we have SB. Good morning, AMT family. Good morning to you, SB. Thank you very much for joining us. And then Ian Campbell. Oh, do you work with Mehmet in your spirituality? No, I don't believe in them. I don't work with mimics. I don't believe in mimics. Yeah, then we have Juliet A again. Great, Juliet A also coming. What is greetings, Bokor from Seattle. Thank you very much, Juliet. Thank you very much. How are you and how are people in Seattle? Thank you for your wisdom. Wishing you and the AMT family many blessings. Same to you, my dear, and happy Easter to you. We have Barbara Paddy. Papa, greetings to you all. Barbara, thank you very much and greetings to you too. A happy Easter to you. We have Efia A. Greetings, Papa, from Accra. Thank you for your teachings this afternoon. Thank you also, Efia. We are very, very grateful to you. Then Efia A again. How does one know that their taboos are? What their taboos are? Are there any signs in daily life which will reveal or indicate that a particular food or a behavior is taboo? Yes, if you cannot know by yourself what foods are taboo for you. You know, the white man calls these taboos allergy. No, there are foods that people eat and they become allergic to it. Oh, then the medical science will tell you that this food you are allergic to it, so don't eat it because when you are eating it, it will disturb your peace. But in Voodoo, when they do a reading for you, it's not only what physically you are allergic to, it's what they will tell you is your taboo. Spiritually, the voodoo or the reading or the oracle should be able to tell each and every individual which foods to eat and which foods not to eat. For instance, when I was initiated into Fa, I was given some taboos. I'm not supposed to sleep on the ground. I'm not supposed to eat certain foods. But then my favorite place in my room used to be on the floor, the bare floor. Just put a mat or put a cloth and sleep because that's I can feel my body will relax because it's a very hard floor. But then the certain things were not going on in my life because I was going against this taboo, which I personally didn't know before. So I changed my way. I never sleep on the floor anymore. I was told not to eat certain food, but those foods were my favorite foods. And then when they told me the story in it, they said, yeah, if you are eating it when you are getting older, this and that is what will happen to you. So avoid them. Just like how those foods will be when they get rotten or they behave. That is how when you are getting older, you become like that. So avoid them. And I have been avoiding them, even though sometimes I wish I could eat them. So when you do a reading, in a reading, or when you get fat, when you are initiated into fat, all these things will be told to you in your oracle that comes for you. It's not the priest that is going to give the oracle to you, or you yourself, you choose the oracle. But when the time comes, the oracle that will be exposed to you during the initiation will be what you are. So it's not the priest who is going to say, oh, you pick this, you pick that. It's you yourself who is going to pick it, but you don't even know what you are picking. But after picking it, when they begin to tell you who you are, you realize that, so this is what I have been. You know yourself who you are. That, okay, I do these things, I do that thing, I do this thing, I did this, I did that. The oracle will tell you everything as if they were with you from the day you were born when you select your oracle in Fa. So when one is initiated into Fa, you will know your full taboo, food to eat, the behavior and things not to do and things to do. When you don't go through this system, you'll just be making a mistake and one day you die and they'll put you inside some box and say you are going to God. Whether you are going or you're not going, you don't even know. You end up in the backyard of a baller. You don't even know. But anyway, if thank you very much for that beautiful question. Yes, I think that's the last one. Okay, let's go back to Facebook and see if we still have people there. I think people are asking questions and liking the listen. So now we go up and let's see. Okay, we talk about Cardi Fisher's as ancestral pot, which I said that I don't really know what it is. But Cardi, if you are still online, please come and let me give me a more briefing into that, and then maybe I can break it down. And we are having our brother Abayomi Balogun from Lagos. Thank you very much, Abayomi. It's been a while. Haven't seen you in a while. Thank you. And how are you doing? How is everything? And greetings to you too from Ghana. Then we have Jenna Renee Henderson. Papa, how can a spiritual person know when they are being spiritually attacked? How can a spiritual person know when they are being spiritually attacked? They will know. Why not? If you are spiritual, you will know. You will know that something is not right. You will know that this is not the way you do your things. You will know that this is not the way you usually feel. So then also, of course, your dream set should be telling you, and your spirit should be telling you when you are doing your reading. They should be talking to you, spiritually attacked or ambushed by enemies, you will definitely know. If you are a spiritualist, you will definitely know that something is not in its place. How can we recognize when we are being stalked by many wicked people? You will. If you are a spiritual person, you should. Spirituality is not a play. Spirituality is not just by putting an altar and lighting candle on it that makes you a spiritual person. Spirituality is through initiation, and spirituality is a practical thing. So when you are initiated, and you will know that things that are coming to you are real or not real. If something is coming into your cycle and it is not good for you, you will definitely begin to feel it and begin to suspect that something is not right somewhere. Then you do a reading to confirm your feelings, and then you will find a way to block it from coming into your life. So definitely, if you are a spiritual person, you will definitely know that you are being attacked, stalked, and as well. Thank you very much, Jenny. Then we have a Nunya Adido Asimetune. When you dream and almost all your dreams come true, good or bad, is that person clairvoyant? Yes, it's a sign of clairvoyancy. Definitely, it's a sign of clairvoyancy. So now we have no questions. So please send in your questions. Don't relax. Send in your questions. Send in your questions. I'm here to answer you. It's a very good afternoon. It's Easter Sunday, and we are all enjoying this Easter Sunday that they say Jesus Christ woke up. Whether he woke up or he didn't wake up, you and I, we were not there. We were told, and we haven't seen anybody waking up yet. But sometimes, of course, when people are in coma, and they are at the point of death, they can wake up, but then they die and they bury them completely and they get out of the grave. We are yet to see new ones. Yet to see new ones. So please send in your questions. Send me any question that you are not clear with concerning voodoo, if or spirituality in general, if you can, so that I can try to answer.
Definitely, this is costs comes over all this kindness. This is where they solve that problem. So don't also remediate. They don't use some more than they can come and try to do this bar because when you come here, then you do not every people who are not initiated. Just come back to looking like we can do.
Thank you.
The reason is that this case is health spots where people come to solve problems if people are dying or sickness. This is where they come and solve that problem. So I can also remediate. So if they don't initiate you and you just come, some of them can come and say you step out or we and that's why it's not until it is
Thank you.
Like me, move the question up. Let me see. Okay, that's the last one was Nunya Adidasimotune. Then we are now seeing Akoswa Shaddai. Hi, Papa. Should one become a voodoo devotee before initiation into priesthood? How could you become a devotee if you have not been initiated? If the question is you want to be participating in the voodoo rituals and activities before you become a priest, if you voodoo is if before you can, I don't know how to put it. You see, voodoo is not a religion whereby you become a devotee. Voodoo is not a religion whereby you become a devotee like Hinduism, Christianity, and all this. Voodoo is not like that. Once you start to associate with voodoo, you must, one way or the other, either be given something or initiated in one way or the other before you can really participate in the activities of voodoo. Otherwise, you will just be an onlooker, outsider watching people do it. But the moment you are going to be part of doing anything, any priest, any real priest must initiate you into the voodoo. Otherwise, you cannot be even a devotee or whereby it will lead into this. You must be initiated into voodoo one way or the other to be a devotee. And if after being a devotee, as you are saying it, and you want to become a priest, then you take the priesthood initiation. That's how I would say. If you are not initiated in any way, you cannot even be a devotee in voodoo. It's not a religion, as I kept saying. It's not a religion. There's another question I haven't answered before you people brought this one. So, Akoswa, if you want to be part of voodoo, you have to be initiated in one way or the other. Or you just be putting something in your room and be deceiving yourself that you are a voodoo devotee or this thing. There's nothing like that. You must, the eating of the tasting of the pudding is in the eating. If you don't eat the pudding, how can you know how it tastes like? Then Jenna again, Papa, I would like to know how spiritual gifts are inherited. Is it passed down by the women in the family or by God or by your own destiny? Jenna, I cannot answer this question. I don't know whether it is passed through by the women, it is passed by God, or it is passed by your destiny. I cannot tell. I don't know. If I have a spiritual gift, how can I know that this spiritual gift is passed down by my mother? Or it is passed down to me by God? And for that matter, who is God anyway? In your understanding, who is God and what is God? Or it is passed down by my own destiny. How can I tell? All that I know is that I came into this world and I am doing something that I like to do. And when I go into my readings, it shows me that it is in my destiny for me to do this work that I am doing. Whether it is my mother who put that into my destiny, or it is God who put that into my destiny, or I decided that in my destiny, I don't know. But I know that I had interest in doing what I am doing. Whatever I would do, I have some interest. And when I went back into my destiny, or I did a reading about my life, they told me that these are the things we are supposed to do. For instance, I'm a magician, professional stage magician. I have performed around the world in many stages for many people around the world. But I never knew I never knew that in my destiny I was supposed to be a magician. It was just something that interests me, and I took it up, and I became a very good magician, an illusionist, And then when I was even initiated into Fa in the beginning, nobody even told me that that magic thing was in my destiny. But as time went by and I started interacting with so many senior priests, and then they asked me, "Oh, which oracle that are you on?" And when I told them, then they said, "Oh, you are a miracle maker. You are supposed to be doing miracles and wonders and all kind of things. That is what is inside your destiny." And then I told them I'm a magician. I said, that's why you drifted towards magic. So whether it is my destiny, it is my mother who passed it on, or whatever you call God pass it on, I cannot know. But my reading after I had been initiated told me that that is what I am supposed to do. And it is in my oracle that I must be a magician, I must be a spiritualist, I must be a teacher. So whether it is passed down by a mother, by a father, by who, that is not my interest. And I never asked. Thank you, Jenna. Then we have a Kamala Senior. Can you talk little about Voodoo Agwe in general? I don't have Voodoo Agwe, so I can't talk about it. The Voodoos that I have is what I speak about. What I don't have, I don't talk about. And I don't even know what is Voodoo Agwe. Honestly, I've never heard it before. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but I personally have not come across it yet. Yes, let's go on. Then Sikiru is again saying that Toby, could you please educate us little about Tila Joker that have Tila on them? Does it mean that if the Tila is not worn at the time of need, the Joker won't respond? He says, Sikiru, what the problem is that what is a talisman or Tila, as people call it? But then in typical Ewe, we don't even call it Tila, we call it Sebe. Listen again. In typical Ewe, from the area I come from, nobody calls it Tila. But talisman usually is coming from the English word, so people shorten it Tila. Talisman. So they say Tila. And then people in some areas of Ewe, because they cannot say Ti, they say Chi, then it becomes Chila. Instead of saying T, say Chi. So it becomes Chila. But it is Tila is coming from the word talisman. The Ewes call it Sebe. And what is Sebe? Or what is talisman? Or what is Tila? A talisman is a combination of herbs or combination of words, which when binded together as one, increases a person's uh, individual vibration or increases your individual aura in order to meet a level with a spirit that you are attending to or a spirit that you are dealing with. So what it raises your vibration from a normal human vibration to a higher tone, whereby your vibration with whatever spirit you are dealing with could be equal or closer, whereby you can deal with them well. So when you see talismans are being worn by people, it is to increase your vibration. It is to increase your vibration so that whatever spiritual work you are doing, you can equalize or do it perfectly. That the spirits that you are dealing with will listen to you. And also, sometimes when you wear it, it also, because it increases your vibration, it lifts you higher among other people, higher than other people who you are among who are not having the same view. Like I spoke about makeup or aura enhancing uh, things, soaps, oil. Some talismans are just oils. You don't need to be or the sebe is not something you even put a tie around your waist. It's just in oil. You wear it and you go. The vibration or your people are attracted towards you, or people see you different. So when you these things are being given to you, some have seeds that you swallow, like a SIM card, which you swallow inside of you. So even though if you don't have the what do you call it, you don't have the talisman either on your waist or in your body, or you are not wearing in the clothes, because you have swallowed the seed, it is there with you. It is the spirit or the joker that you call that has to respond to you. But it is better when you wear the things on you so that your vibration can meet the level of what you wanted to reach. It's like, let's talk about WhatsApp. WhatsApp, when you first want to get it, I think you need to have a SIM card in your phone. And then that SIM card may be from a particular country. And then you install WhatsApp with that. Even when you go to anywhere in the world where you cannot even use your SIM card, that WhatsApp can still be working. Is it not so?
Yes.
Yes. Whether you have the SIM card working or not, the SIM card is not working. You have already established your connection, and every spirit and everything knows that this is yours. So that is how a talisman is like. Sometimes you wear it and then it when they carry it, then it is. If you don't wear it too, when you mention the name and you type in your name on the spiritual field that, oh, it is me who is doing this, spirits listening and start working with you. They know you already. Then we have cash out ganj. So when I was a kid, I refused to take the afa. My dad asked me to go to do it in our village. Is it going to disturb me in the future? I don't know. I can't move the question up. My dad have a talisman in my room and I want to wear it. He hasn't given it to me though, but he does not use it anymore. Is it bad to wear it? Ask your father. Okay, we have a go up. Let me see whether there's a question up there. Okay, the last question was on a fear. So, Control Sergeant WBAI. Good afternoon from Brooklyn, everybody. Good afternoon, Control. How are you? Thank you very much for joining us. And then we have a IBT. Good afternoon, Papa. I want to add something that I think is not for this platform. I spoke with you the other week, but I don't clearly understand the entire message you sent me. I would prefer if you could be contacted via email. Thank you. Yeah, I cannot remember what question you sent me. You can contact me on my WhatsApp number, and I can still talk to you through WhatsApp. Or you can send me an email. We have africanmagictemple@gmail.com, which is our common email for African Magic Temple. I'll read it and answer you. And then if you also could contact me on my WhatsApp number, which is +233. I mean, any type in America, +233 244 367578. Christopher Voncujovi. I will be able to also give you more insight into your question. Since I cannot remember which question you are talking about, because a lot of people talk to me, a lot of people chat with me, a lot of people interact with me, and I don't know everybody's name by heart. So you may have, and recently I was also talking about me losing all my WhatsApp data, so I don't have anybody's data anymore. So I will not know who sent me a message, but now you have my email, africanmagictemple@gmail.com. You type it, just africanmagic@gmail.com. You will get me. Thank you very much, IBT. And then we have Bruce David. David, how are you? Long time. Wow, Toby, happy to see you again. Oh, so I got the chaba. Eh? The chaba anytime. Bruce, David. Yeah, when I the chaba, I know a young day. Call me on the phone at least. I want to know how things are going. So let me know. Thank you very much. Okay, Pius say one. This is great, Tommy. Yes, of course, this should be great. Say one. Then cash out grant thanks. I'm a Rosicrucian and want to have connection to the esoteric and African tradition. Okay, keep trying. We are in Voodoo, we are not the Rosicrucians. We are the observers of nature. And then we have a Nunya Adido Asimetu Ametichia. Please, so does having signs of clairvoyance means a person is a witch? No, never. You cannot have signs of clairvoyance. That doesn't mean you are a witch. Who says you are a witch? It is only people who do not understand what clairvoyance and then the sixth sense or seventh sense or eighth sense is concerned will call you a witch. Because to see, I am here, I see, I can see things and tell people. That's why people come to visit me. And am I a witch? No, I am not a witch. And even if I will be classified as a witch, then I am a witch that looks for the best for humanity. And then the cash out gun, you say, I want to learn astral projection. How do I start? I don't know. I don't do astral projection at my spiritual shrine. I'm sorry. The IBT say, okay, thank you. Thank you too. Thank you. We're using that out maybe for Simba. So this things before you reach every time from the level. So my level is this one. The black book. There's a Vodu that I have which is called a black book, and this is the legba that comes along with that the way. Ablakpo. So it's Ablakpo. It's a leg bar for Ablakpo. It drinks because Ablakpo is a drink. Da Emile Okla, and also Zile Unjo. Okay. Okay, so folks, this is what Voodoo is all about. I'm talking about things that I know. Honestly speaking, I don't talk about anything that I don't know. Whatever I had experience and personal experiences with, that's what I teach. I don't teach that stories that no. When I heard that my grandfather, when he was young, he was walking on the blaka, the string that women use. No, the blaka is the string that they use in plaiting women's hair in the olden days. It's called the blaka. People say, "Oh, my grandfather was walking on the black house. So when my grandfather sit down, no rain will fall beside him." All those things are stories. You haven't seen it. If you see it, then you talk. I don't talk about things I have not seen. And I don't talk about things I have not personally experienced. What I don't know, I'll tell you straight away that I don't know. I don't just go from reading books and start practicing. That's not the way I practice my spirituality. Every spirituality that I have been practicing, I have, even if I read it in book, I look for teachers who have done it before, so that they can guide me and teach me what to do. So what I teach here, at least 90% of what I teach here, or I may say 95% of whatever I teach here, that means I personally had some experience with it. I don't just start teaching where I don't have experience. So when you ask me certain questions and I tell you I don't know, that means I have not done those practices. I have not had personal physical experiences with them. That's why I'll tell you I don't know. Those that I have had personal experiences with, when you ask me, I'll be able to elaborate on it and give questions very clear. So, Cash Out Gang say, I'm really grateful. Thank you also for joining this afternoon section. I'm grateful to all of you who have been part of today's listening. Let me see what the time now. The screen. Let me see what the time is. It's 4:11. 4:11 p.m. 16:11. So those of you who still have some questions to send me, please, we have roughly about 10, 15, 16 minutes or whatever. Let's say 20 minutes more to close our section. So please, Send in your questions quickly and let me be able to answer them for you before we close the section. I'm very grateful to all of you for joining us, and thank you all for your questions. They make it easier and clear for everybody or most people to understand what Voodoo is all about. There's been so much mystery and mystery and confusion lies about Voodoo and everything in Voodoo as general, just because the people who were talking about them are coming from Christian background and they wanted Voodoo people to behave like Christians, which we won't, and we are not, and we have never behaved like Christians. If you are inside Voodoo and you feel that Voodoo is not the way you want to live your life, you can go to church, you can go to the mosque and live a simple life where nothing will challenge you. You live a simple life, whether things are going wrong in your life or not, you don't care. That's good. But we as Voodoo people, people who have immersed ourselves in our ancestral practices, we will not be like Christians and we will not behave like Christians or behave like religious people. We will just behave like how our ancestors had behaved. We will be very straightforward with our life and be open minded with our ways of dealing with life. We are saying Akosia Shaddai, saying Shade, saying thank you, Papa, thank you, Akosia, thank you for joining us. We are very grateful to you for joining today's section. Then we have Doji again saying good morning, Papa. Saying thank you for everything you do. Thank you very much, Doji. We are very grateful to you. And IBT had already said thank you too. And then Doji again said, I asked a question about Ajay or Azay, and I was offline for a moment, so I'm not sure if you answered it. I'm going to ask again. Oh, I have already answered the question. So, Doji, if it will be good, go on to our because it will be online, so you will see how I answered it. I have answered every piece of it and even given more ideas about that question. That is a question about Ajay. That Ajay is evil, is negative, but Ajay can also be good if it's used by a good person. So you definitely get my answer over there. Okay, then Sekidu is saying that thank you for the deeper explanation. Last, I asked about Voodoo Gabada, for which you gave us more highlights. Most Asio and Ahiake I came across draw power from Gabada, based on the fact that this Voodoo movie was banned over the years. Would you recommend Gabada in modern times? Yes, I have Gabada. I have Gabada. So there's nothing wrong with it. People are getting Gabara to form churches so that they can make money. People are having Gabara to do business. In fact, the Voodoo called Zibizaba is Gabara. Everyone will call it Gabara because the word Zibizaba is not an every word. It's either Awusa or it's a foreign word to Zibizaba. It's not which means Alpha and Omega, the first and the last. The beginning and the end. That's all that Zibizaba means. But Gabada, as it is called in Ewe, it's a Voodoo for attraction, serious attraction. I have Gabada, which is in the form of Zibizaba. Then we then we have Ebenezer Moses. Papa, is herbal or spiritual birth the same as equivalent to like an initiate swallowing a seed? I am not very sure. We do herbal and spiritual bath for people when it is necessary, but that is not in. But in initiation, you need to bath. When they initiate you, you still need to take herbal baths and all these things. But if it is birth, it's a spirit. I know. So that when the initiate is being initiated or energies are called up, the birth. I don't know that, but I know about what I do. And then we have Nunya again. Wow, you deserve an international award. And can you raise that? You deserve an international award and recognition. We're talking about award and recognition. I think I have read, I've learned from my children, Senna and Pele, had been nominated by the United Nations for being the most influential children of African origin living in a foreign land, something like that. And they have been nominated. This very nomination was last year. Naomi Osaka, who won the women's tennis championship, was nominated. Yeah, I hope and I'm praying for them that they should also win that award. And then once they have won that award, it is for all of us in the sense that we all are part of one. So African Magic Temple. So then that what you are asking and saying here, we will also be part of it. So we keep praying that God give them the grace and also the ancestors continue to guide them so that we will reach greater heights. Thank you very much, Nunya. And then Ebenezer Bonso, what's the whole process of spirituality bath works? I don't know how to explain it to you, Ebenezer. Spiritual baths are made in order to cleanse auras. Spiritual baths are made in order to raise vibrations. Spiritual baths are made in order to overcome challenges. It depends on what spiritual bath it is. It's not just one type of bath that is called spiritual. Spiritual bath, just like initiation, are different. So you cannot say that you bath one bath, that means it's a spiritual bath, so that's the end. No, each and every spiritual bath is also on its own, depending on what is happening to you before the oracle say they should prepare a spiritual bath for you. And the herbs that will go into that spiritual bath are all determined in a reading. So we, as a priest or people who are in the shrine or working with voodoo or working with energy or spirit, call it whatever you want, we will tell when the oracle say use this herb, use that herb, then it depends on what is happening to the person before we use that. Do you know that? Do you know anything about quantum physics? Any of you who has an idea about quantum physics and kinetic energy? If you have any idea, you can give me an explanation so that I can build on that and tell you a story. So, quantum physics and kinetic energy is something that I am interested in. I am not a physics, I'm only a voodoo priest. And I don't do kinetic listen, but I'm a voodoo priest. So I say the children say, what is quantum physics? Put simply, it is science physics that explains how everything works. The best description we have of the nature of the particles that make up matter and the forces which with which they interact. Quantum physics underlies how atoms work and so why chemistry and biology work as they do. Okay, so when we are talking about quantum physics, Voodoo is like quantum physics. Voodoo is like quantum physics in the sense that when things are put together, the very essence of life, the very essence in a plant or in an oil, in a stone, you'll be able to know how the atoms and the molecules and everything that works inside to get to a successful to a successful end. How these things work, it's very hard to explain, but we can sit here, put herbs together, prepare a bath for you, and you bath that bath, and things begin to change in your life. So voodoo is like quantum physics. And then Ebenezer was saying something up there before what Munya said. Listen, let's go to Ebenezer. Ebenezer, but what's the whole process of spirituality back works? Okay, yeah, we have already seen that. Then Nunya Adido Asimetu, they say, congrats on your nomination. You are an asset. You've got a lot of in-depth knowledge about spirituality. You are so plain and clean-hearted. Oh, it's not me. It's my children who had a nomination. I am here in Ghana. They are in Japan. And thank you, but anyway, Nunya Akpekakaka. And then Doji Goli is saying, okay, you answered, okay, thank you very much. Thank you to Doji. Then we have Kojo Sergeant WBAI. No question at this time. However, it is an honor for me to be able to catch you live. Thank you very much, Kojo. I'm very grateful. It's an honor to me also for all of you joining this session today. I'm very grateful to all of you for being part of our Facebook Revolution Facebook live session. And we'll be coming back to you again next Sunday, God willing. And I want to say thank you to all of you joining us at this moment. And may the ancestors and may the gods of our fathers continue to bless you and bless you all for a very good and successful week coming week. And may you all be progressive in your individual ways, and may your minds be open and may your hearts be clean, so that whatever you are wanting and trying to do, may it be successful. If you are looking for a husband, may you have one. If you are looking for a wife, may you have one. If you have a husband and a wife already and you are looking for a child, may your dreams come true so that you have become a mother and become a father. If you are looking for a job and you are not getting a job, may the doors of getting a job, may the ancestors and the spirits of the universe open the doors for you. May your inner self open the chances for you so that you can get a job. And if you are working at the place and you are not finding the things that you wanted, may those doors open so that you can come across them. May you be protected daily from all the negative energies that surround us. They are part of the universe and they are part of us. We can only learn how to avoid them. A car is good to drive, but the car also can cause an accident. But then we still sit in the car all the time. Why? Because they are all working hand in hand. So the negative and the positive are the same. They work hand in hand. So let us not just say that it is negative, so it's bad. What we can do is let us avoid the negative from coming to us so that the positive in our lives will increase. Thank you, everybody. I'm wishing you a very successful week. Kadi, I didn't see your questions very much, but please let's talk. And for Martin Kobla, I say you look very handsome today, my brother. Thank you for Martin. Thank you very much. I think I'm always like this. That maybe today the brightness in the soul has come up because they say today is Easter. So maybe, but I thank you very much for that compliment. May the ancestors continue to guide and bless you. I've read your messages and in the things that you have sent me, the medicines and the what do you call it, food supplements and all the necessary things that you have been sending to me. It's not one. I've also received the pipe that we are going to use for Tommy Jopata. Is there? I wish I don't think I Kofi, that small bag formatting cobbler sent me. It's in that small paper bag. Bring the pipe. Bring the whole thing so that I can show him the pipe that he has got. We are now cleaning Chopata's room. They have been cleaning it since morning, doing some work. And after we are done from here, I'll take the pipe to Tommy Jopata and I'll smoke a pipe for Tommy Jopata. There's tobacco. I saw it inside. I tried it. I thought it was very nice. I put it inside and I'll blow some pipe for Tommy Jopata. Go away from me. I'll blow some pipe for Tommy Jopata in your name and I'll tell Tommy Jopata for Martin Kobla is the one who signed the pipe. May you be blessed and continue having blessed. You told Mama, I'm telling you about Hadamian. We are kind Jopata. Tamalie Bafa. Adado Kunonyaga. Oh, no, oh, Vodu Hedias. Oh, Vodu Kojan. Talk. But you're not Hebias of Vodu Agboloso. Oh, will be put there. The Visio Poebe, a Chipuahon, the Visio Poebe, you have a project Peggy. I'm back on Dole. May you not pick Hadamiano. Tọ́gbẹ́ àbúlápò òwe ní ìfòdúró wọ́n ti mọ̀ pọ̀ láti gbogbo ṣàmbá kọ́ọ̀kọ́ ilẹ̀ Amẹ́ríkà ní àtẹ̀fẹ́ na dìbò na dìgà àbẹ̀lẹ́kẹ̀ fòfú di ẹ̀rọ nínú yọ ọ̀sàrẹ̀ nínú àtọ̀ nínú yọ ọ̀kẹ́lẹ̀ nínú àtọ̀ tọ́rọ̀ ní ní ilé Amẹ́ríkà bó pọ̀ ẹ̀dùwé fún ẹ̀yọ́ gbọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀tọ́rọ̀ rẹ̀ nìjú ká àpẹ́ kákákáká ní àwọ̀ dọ̀ ní abẹ́ dọ̀ ọ̀wọ̀ rẹ̀ ní ẹ̀dùwé yes. For Martin, yeah, this is the pipe. So I will bring. They are cleaning Togo Japata. Have they finished cleaning Japata's room? Okay, so I'm going to. When we are done from here, I'll take it to Togo Japata and then tell him that. You say I don't know how to smoke pipe, but I'll learn. I'll also learn how to smoke it for Toby Jopata. So, all the spirits, I will smoke it for them as well. So, thank you very much. I'm very grateful for all the things that you have been doing for me, my medicines and everything that you have been saying. May the ancestors continue to bless all of you, your children, your generation, everybody. And then here we have what do you call it? Public creation, that is a Doji Goli. Say, Papa, do we have any voodoo that can guide people in order to behave well in life? All voodoos can guide you to behave well in life. But for you to be able to know how to behave well is when you get fat. In your fat body, it will all be indicated there that do this, avoid this, do this. Do this, avoid this, and that is how to live well in life. You see, a lot of time people were thinking that when you are having sex or you have a woman in your life or you sleep with a man or you sleep with a woman, then it's a sin and voodoos and spirits will get angry. It's not true. Voodoos know that we are human beings. So you are just talking that voodoos are angry with you because you eat food or you ate food or you drank water, so the voodoos will get angry with you. Sex is just the same. It's a desire in man that has come along with our metabolism and everything. So why should God look at it as a sin? It's only human beings who made it into a sin. I don't think that God has made the object of creation a sinful thing. Why do you think that in Doji? Why do you think that in the Hindu temple they have the Shiva Linga? You are following Hinduism. Why do you think that in Hindu temple they have Shiva Linga? And do you know exactly what the Shiva Lingam represents? The Shiva Lingam is just representing man and woman. That's all. Because that's only way that this creation can continue. Whether it's male or animal or female animal. It is female and male, whether human or animal, plants or whatever. That's what keeps the creation. So the object of creation is not a sin. It may be a sacred thing, but it is not a sin. So if you said if there's a voodoo that makes people behave well, if yes, what is the name? Go to Fa, Boisa, Boisa, Boisa says anybody who is clever should go to Fa first before doing anything they want to. So go to Fa and then you find out what you are supposed to do in life. I'm giving a shout out to Shamba Musa for a very successful time in Ghana and the trainings that you have taken. I know there were a lot. You may not understand all now, but you have gotten them all. And slowly, slowly, as time goes on, we are going to build up and take your time. Don't be in a rush. Spirituality is not something you do in a rush. Once it is inside your body, that is what you are going to do, you will do it. And you have followed your destiny to continue learning. Yes, I have my Atma Linga. It represents male member entering female member. So that's it. That's the Shiva. It's not called Atma Linga. That's Atma Linga. It's called Shiva Linga. It's not called Atma Linga. If they started calling it Atma Linga, when I was in Voodoo, when I was in Hinduism, I've never heard the name Atma Linga, but I have heard Shiva Linga. So because Atma means soul. So why is the Atma Linga here? So I don't understand. But then it is Shiva Linga, where the male and the female are together. Or the link this thing is down, and then the lingam in the middle, which represents the this thing. And that's what we have in the Legba also. I'd say Legba is a phallic entity in the spiritual world. So all these things are all the same, but in different cultures, different names, and different people. That's why. So I think we are done for today. What is 4:30 now? It's 4:34. So we came a little bit late. So if there's any more question from people, please send it to me and let's see. Let's wait for about another 10 minutes and then we can just close the section. So there is a Shiva Lingam, but Atma Lingam, I'm hearing it for the first time. Maybe it has been all been there, but I've never heard it before. But I know about Shiva Lingam because I was trained in Varanasi, and then in the holy temple of the Hindus where they have the golden Shiva Lingam. Okay, so the Atma Linga is a smaller one that you keep as a jewelry on your body, and it is all out like your mirror. Okay, I see. Who is teaching that? It's almost like your mirror. I see. So do you communicate with that Atma Linga? Or it's just something they gave to you and tell you that it is acting like your mirror? Do you really communicate with them? So anyway, we are talking about voodoo here, so let's forget about the what do you call it, the Hinduism. But in voodoo, everything is very very practical. So we those of us who are practicing it, we enjoy practicing voodoo very well, especially when you understand what you are doing. You know, okay, so yes, I do communicate with you. Oh, that's very good. My guru Nityananda. From which society, Nityananda? From which society? Is it from Rohani? If it's Rohani Satsang, cannot be Nitya Satsang to the sea. But I'm not advanced enough, so I don't hear back all the time. But sometimes I hear back. Okay, then that's very good. So which group, don't you? Which group is Nityananda coming from? Guru Nityananda, which group is it from? Because, okay, tell me. Okay, I think we have no more questions and no more comments from anybody. So let's go to Facebook one more time, and if we find it, let's go. If we don't, let us go continue cleaning Jopata's room and the inner spiritual room so that we'll prepare for a new day because people are coming in this April and May for initiation, so we have to be getting ready. Go back to Facebook and let's see if there's anything there. I think we are done. Oh, said Martin Kobler said, thank you for my prayer, uncle, from Mama. Okay, Akpe. Thank you very much. So here we go. Let's check whether the YouTube has come. Anybody with any question there? Okay, Doji say he has his own group and formed his own organization. Okay. Thank you very much, Doji, and hope to talk with you again. And I will be expecting all of you next week, Sunday. Get your questions when you are having some doubts about Voodoo or anything concerning Voodoo. Please don't wait that until Sunday before you write your question. Write your questions on a piece of paper and keep them. So on Sunday, when we meet here, you can just post them and I will try to answer them. Thank you very much, and may the ancestors continue helping you, and may you all have a very successful week coming through. Thank you. Bye bye.